Okay, good morning, everyone. Hopefully everybody is seeing the screen. This is our finale episode, our final episode for season 4, Environmental Fridays. It is personal. Our website address is www.theenvironmentalfridays.com. So welcome to everyone. Just a quick recap of our Environmental Fridays for seasons 3 and 4 combined. We had a total of 30 guest speakers, 27 episodes. We had speakers from both public and private organizations, 12 states here in the US, 8 countries, 8 universities. And we had a special guest, Miss Janelle Penny Commission, the first Black Miss Universe. She won it in 1977. So she was on one of our shows as well as a co-host and a special guest. Over the last 4 seasons, 2 years, 4 seasons, we have had 58 episodes, 70 speakers from 12 different countries. And you see them listed here from the Caribbean, from Ukraine, while Russia was, doing its aggression, continues to. And so we've had a number of different countries represented. We've also had a number of different agencies. For example, United Nations Environmental Program, the chief scientist spoke to us, the United States Forest Service, from the EPA, from CDC, the state of Michigan, Berrien County, and city of Benton Harbor all have been represented throughout our past 2 years. So we are very proud of what we have accomplished so far. And my co-host, unfortunately, I haven't seen her on yet. Hopefully she gets on, is Miss Heidi Lassane. She, in fact, was a former guest speaker for us, I believe in our first or second season. And we could talk about her a little bit more when she gets on. Today, the main focus is on A for asthma, and you'll hear all about it, but the 2 persons that are instrumental, and I refer to them here as the co-founders of A for Asthma, Dr. Susan Buchanan, MD and MPH at the University of Illinois, Chicago, and at the School of Public Health, and Princella Tobias, responsible for a lot of different things. More relevant to this is Benton Harbor Team Solutions and the Benton Spirit. So at this point, I would actually sort of segue into what Princella would be talking about. I just wanted to highlight the A for Asthma program prior to her coming on. You can see here a telephone number, 855-269-1519 to get more information, as well as the email address. We also have a Facebook page.
That's not showing on the screen right now. It's still the collage of our photos.
Hello?
The telephone number is not shown yet. It's still the collage of our photos.
Okay. Let's see. Let me try. Are you seeing this now?
No, still all of us.
Why is that happening? Well, I don't want to take too much more time up on that, but just to share with you that there is a Facebook page, a Facebook group called A for Asthma. A for Asthma that you can access as well. And Princella, it's your turn to talk about it and introduce your guest, Miss Marlene.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Murray. I am Princella Tobias, and I am so very pleased to be with all of you today. And to all of you who may have to go
Your,
to YouTube.
your sound is kind of gobbly.
Is it now too? Still?
Yes, still, uh-huh.
Okay. I gotta move. Is it still?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll go back to where I was earlier.
okay.
Is it better now?
It's still sort of, but
It's like you're underwater.
yeah.
It sounds like she's underwater.
And while she's getting that, I could try and see if I could get.
Okay.
I could,
What are you gonna say?
I was going to say I could introduce Marlene if Princella's audio is not working well.
So can you hear me now?
That's better.
Perfect. Better. Yeah, it's
That's
good.
better.
It gets better with time, you guys.
Okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to say, and I love saying it a second time. Thank you, Dr. Murray, for Environmental Fridays. It took me a couple years to understand and appreciate the environment and where we're facing today, and giving us an opportunity to talk about the A for Asthma program. We'll talk more about it later. But at this beginning segment, we wanted just to share with you one of our asthma ambassadors. She is phenomenal. She is courageous, and she's going to share with you her asthma story, so you can see just how relevant and how important what we're doing for A for Asthma is in our community. And that is, she's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's a godmother. She takes care of the world. And as she faces what she's going through with asthma, she'll share it with you. And may we all keep her in prayer and just uplift her as she has been uplifting us with the A for Asthma program. And that is Mrs. Marlene West. Hello, Marlene.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, I've been having asthma problems for the last week. So just bear with me because I've been shortness of breath. But I'm here this morning to let people know that I've been dealing with asthma most of my life. I lost loved ones by it. I've helped people get over attacks. I help children learn more about it. I got great grandkids that has asthma right now and suffering with it. I have this subject is really hard because it's affecting my entire family right now because everybody is worried about me because I guess as with age it gets worse, it gets worse. So it's very important to know a lot about what's happening with asthma. As far as a plan, I need to get with my doctor and get on a plan right now. Having a plan is very important. Having the right medication is very important, and the equipment is important. I did not have a fibrillator for treatment. I went to the Intercare and they did a treatment there, and I'm trying to get me some equipment for the treatment right now. I'm waiting for my doctor to call in, but this is it's a serious subject, and it's been not out in the public for so long that people just hadn't realized how bad it is, and it's really a big impact. And I can tell right now by me right now they trying to renovate my house, and it's like crowding in on me. And I'm gonna say I never felt like this as much as I'm feeling now with this asthma. But It's very, very important, and it's hard to deal with if you don't know anything about it. It's life-threatening if you don't know anything about it or how to combat. You like if you have an attack, somebody that don't know about as what's happening, they'll think it's just, you know, a breathing problem and tell you to just breathe, just breathe. But that's not it. You need more. You need attention. You need help. You can't do it on your own. You gotta get help. You gotta have the medicine. You gotta have the attention. You gotta follow the plan. And I realize that is very important because I have lost people from asthma just recently. And it's important.
So Marlene, even recently, we'll get to that, but even before then, if you don't mind sharing even about your mother.
Yep. My mother, she went into the hospital. She suffered from asthma for a long time. And she went into the hospital for tests for a different illness. And she was getting treatments in the hospital because she did them daily. But they took her down for MIR. And when she went into the machine, it was elements in the machine that caused her to have an asthma attack. And that was the one it was a big asthma attack. And she had a heart attack right there. They couldn't revive her. So she passed from an asthma attack. And I had a couple of children that I knew. One was my great granddaughter, adopted granddaughter. She was 3 years old, and she passed a couple months back. And then it's been a couple of kids that I know in my life that have passed from asthma. And it's like the baby, her dad, he has asthma real bad. So they was on top of her, but she was in and out the hospital like every month and ever since she was born. And so she just got this big asthma attack and they couldn't get it under control. And she passed. And it's kids that's being treated for asthma that's actually passing from asthma.
We just had a 10 or 11-year-old who just died a couple of months as well from asthma. We had and I would want to stick with Marlene because Marlene has been so helpful. You hear her now. But during the summer, we had a booth or a table at the farmer's market. And this was Marlene out there just touching lives, educating them about asthma. So you hear Marlene now, she is a champion. But she's one of our asthma ambassadors. But even being out there talking to people during the summer and everything, Marlene, she was so awesome. She was great because she gets it. She understands it. And, you know, and then the young child, didn't the mom even die of asthma the previous year?
The grandmother. The grandmother.
Oh, the grandmother.
Yes.
Okay.
The grandmother died from asthma on her birthday, and then the baby died on her birthday the year after.
Wow. And
they had asthma so bad. It was just sad to see this little girl they had even bought her a watch. My granddaughter ordered it. I don't know where she got it from, but it's like an asthma watch. And when the little girl started, you know, having problems, if she wasn't in the same room with them, it was a button on the watch where she could push and it alert them. And she loved her watch. But it's sad. It's very sad, and it's a hard impact on the community because there's so many kids and people in the community that do have asthma that has not been alerted to the symptoms or any of the cures for it or the treatments. I mean, people just around don't know about how to deal with the asthma symptoms and the asthma effect it can have on you. They could be smokers have asthma and just start coughing and think it's just the smoke, but they don't even know that they got the asthma and that the smoking is bringing it up. But so it's important to get it out there so that everybody can be in touch with this sickness without, just all of a sudden it hit you and you don't know what's happening.
Well, Marlene has been such a champion. I mean, she's a champion already, okay? Because, when you hear her speak and she's talking about her family members, 9 times out of 10, she has raised them. She is everybody's mother and big mama and nana and granny, and she's everything to so many. And this is why she stated earlier that people are paying so much attention to her, because she's part of our asthma program. And so, you know how that makes me even feel? Ooh, okay, now I'm not going to cry, but because she's so important in so many lives. And this is something that we have been trying to help for just 1.5 to 2 years because of Dr. Susan Buchanan and Debbie Porter and the University of Illinois. And I should say public health and the EPA, and how we came onto this. And so, Marlene has just been a champion, like I said, and we want to thank her for sharing with us because she's under treatment now. When I spoke to her last night, she was going through treatment. And she's had several attacks within the last month. And so her story, I just know is going to touch another person's life, because every time now that we talk about asthma, Marlene is there to touch people. The farmers market, we were there every single Wednesday for months. And Marlene was there to share the story, to touch lives, to sign people up, to pass out peak flow machines. This champion, we call them asthma ambassadors, but Marlene was one of the first ones that came on board with us here in Benton Harbor. And so she's the champion. She's going to be the queen of, of asthma, because not just asthma, but the queen, the brave faces. Marlene is one of those brave faces. And for being with us today, she's one of those brave voices, because her message, her journey, and her story will change people. And because of her, other people are opening up now. They're sharing. It's something you said too, Marlene, a while back, how people were never talking about asthma.
Right. I can go in the store now, just from the article that was in the Ben Spirit that you had in there about asthma, and my picture was in there, and the people were like, I saw you in the paper. And the stairs started talking about their asthma experiences they've been having, and how they never knew about like the peak flow, how they never knew about the plan. And it was like one lady said her son suffered from asthma for years, and she never knew anything about. All they did was gave her the breathing, not the breathing machines, of the inhalers. Yeah, they would give them out. They give out the inhalers, but I think they need to give out more instructions into instructions with it, because my grandson, he's got a regular inhaler, then he's got a rescue inhaler. One is blue and one is yellow, and he'll say, Granny, I need my red, and one is red and one is yellow. Granny, I need my red inhaler. I'm not breathing, I'm feeling my chest is tight. And he'll go get it, and he carry these inhalers with him wherever he go. He carry them to school. When he out playing, he got them in his pocket. It's just hard to see that, a child have to survive, have to depend on secondhand treatment just to play outside. There's so many things he can't do that his brothers them can do that he's not allowed to do. Mm-hmm. But it's important for the kids to be knowledgeable of the inhalers too, and how important they are to them.
Yes. But even people now, they're starting to talk about it. That's one of the first steps, talking about it and having no shame, because This is real, and they're talking about it and they're sharing it. And I know, and now people are like, Mr. Tobias, I know a person with asthma. Yeah. I mean, we had our listening session, and that was on a Saturday, I believe. Yeah. And that next day, one of our commissioners called me and said at church that Sunday, they had to wheel out the young woman at church. She had an asthma attack. you know, and he knew to call me right away because people, your story, Marlene, you and others, by coming out and saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what I have, you know, it's important, this is what we're doing. And to have the A for asthma, you know, even today, it makes me even think how much more powerful it is that what we're doing. You know, I always knew it was when we talk about the statistics later, you know, in our community and statistics overall. But to hear Marlene today and the testimonies and people, one lady told me it's like a weight was taken off their shoulders because they had someone to talk to about asthma.
Right.
Wow.
Okay. So we are getting to the top of the hour, and I know all of us reminded me yesterday that you guys have things to do. So do we want to transition to Dr. Susan to talk to us about some of the health aspects and statistics and science?
Desmond, I know you have your slides. Did you want to present those ones that you prepared, or do you want me to do it?
So is everyone seeing my slides now?
We
Yes.
just seeing
Yes.
Yes, so then there it is.
I just want
Are you
people to
seeing
know
it?
that our guest superstar champion has to leave early. She may not be able to stay to the end. So if you do see Miss Marlene leave, it's because she had a prior engagement.
Daycare.
Okay.
Bye, Marlene.
Bye.
Thank
bye.
you, Marlene.
Bye.
Thank you.
Nice being here with you guys this morning.
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So Susan, are you guys seeing Susan's slides now?
Yeah, I can see them.
Okay,
And
very good.
I'm happy to move forward.
All right.
I apologize. I am in a really noisy place, but I'm going to go through these slides and then hopefully we can take some questions. But, you know, I gave one of these lectures a year ago and went into a little bit more detail about asthma, but I wanted today to focus on the triggers because that's something that we've really started to hone in on the last year. First, I just want to start with this slide that shows you what asthma is and how it works. Everybody knows that it's a problem in the lungs, but these two pictures here show the difference between those airways and what happens during an asthma attack. So the airway is just, you know, the tube that the air goes through, and then the oxygen from the air passes through into the bloodstream, passes through from the tube into the blood. So what you see on the left, that tube is nice and wide open. There's a layer of muscle around it. And on the tube on the right is what the air tube looks like during an asthma attack. You've got a cross-section view too. And what you see is a couple different things happening. The muscle that's around the tube starts contracting, squeezing the tube. The lining of the tube gets thick and bulky, and it starts oozing out mucus. So you have those three things happening. You have a tightened air tube, you got a thickened wall of the tube, and then you have it fill up with mucus. And you can see in that cross section that there's not as much room for air to move. So that's the major problem with asthma. And what happens with asthma is just during an attack, the tubes look like this, and then you take medicine and then they open back up. So it's the start and stop that people struggle with. Next slide. And then the other thing, since our relationship with Benton Harbor is funded by the CDC and the Environmental Protection Agency, we have been focusing on the effects of the environment on asthma. And what we know is that air pollution can cause asthma attacks. So I've just put some pictures here on this slide. I just lost the full screen version, but that's okay. Is photographs just to remind you of what aspects of air pollution can cause asthma attacks. The first one on the list is particulate matter, which is something that people don't often realize is air pollution. When you burn anything, and you can see on this slide that there are three pictures that where something's being burned. On the left, it's a gas range, so natural gas is being burned. In the middle is traffic. So there's fossil fuel gasoline being burned. And then on the right is industry. So you know that there are things being burned, and each one of those emits particles into the air. And those particles, when you breathe them in, can cause asthma attacks. Up above, I have a spray can indicating there are chemicals in the home. So when you spray things in the home, you can get irritating chemicals that cause asthma attacks. Okay, next slide. Over the last year, we emphasized outdoor air pollution, and what we're moving towards now is teaching people about indoor asthma triggers. So it's also called indoor air pollution, it's called indoor air quality, but basically it's what is in the air in your house that can cause an asthma attack. Next slide. And this slide lists various things inside the house that can cause asthma attacks, along with some pictures, some gross pictures of a cockroach. But each of these things is called a trigger, and we care about them because we spend so much time indoors. Over 90% of our time is inside, whether it's at home, at work, school, or daycare. So we need to pay attention to the air inside the home. And the first thing on this list, they're called biologic allergens. They're basically things you are allergic to, which can be dust mites. And so dust mites are in everybody's home. They come from dust. Cockroaches. Did you know that cockroaches are an asthma trigger? And pets, of course, if you're allergic to your pets, you can have an asthma attack from their pet dander. And then mold. The picture on the top there is a picture of just a moldy corner of somebody's basement. And that mold puts things into the air that can trigger an asthma attack. Now, Marlene mentioned tobacco smoke. Absolutely, if anybody in the home smokes, if they have asthma, it can be worse, but also secondhand smoke. If you have a smoker in the home that just brings in smoke on their clothing, they can have an asthma attack, the asthmatics. I showed you, I'm really sorry for this background noise, I hope you can hear me anyway, but I showed you the picture of the spray can because cleaning chemicals can cause asthma attacks. So if you are one of those neat freaks and you want to kill every bacteria, every germ in your house, and you're using lots of things with chlorine or Lysol or spraying the air or using air fresheners or even burning scented candles, that can be putting things into the air that are irritating to those air tubes and can trigger an asthma attack. And the last one I had mentioned, when you burn anything outside or inside, it's going to emit, it's going to give off particulate matter that can cause an asthma attack. So we're talking gas stoves. If people use gas stoves for heating, they can trigger attacks. If you have a wood stove, kerosene heaters, anything that you're burning, any fossil fuel that's being burnt can cause asthma attacks. Next slide. Oh, you know what? This picture, go back a minute. I want to show that last picture that showed up. It's a photo of a bedroom of two kids. And what it emphasizes is all these plush items collect dust. And so if a child is an asthmatic, having a plush carpet, a shag carpet, lots of stuffed animals, you see a big plush headboard and comforters, bedspreads, those are all really bad for asthmatics because dust, and even if you shake it out every day, it's going to, or wash them, it's going to cause some dust, and those dust mites can be really irritating to the kids. All right, now you can go to the next slide. I had mentioned that we emphasized outdoor air pollution, so we know that outdoor air pollution can also cause asthma attacks, and that's why we've been teaching people in last year how to look up the air quality index. Next slide. The next slide is just a picture of what it means when you look up the air quality index and you get a number. What we found is around Benton Harbor, it's usually pretty good. It's usually in the green area, but in those hot summer days, it can get up into the red or the orange, that kind of brownish orange, and this can trigger asthma attacks. Now, I think that is my last slide. I wanted to turn it over to, oh yeah, here's one. I just wanted to show the EPA actually has a great website. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has a website that explains what triggers are, and there are great handouts. We've gotten some handouts from that website, but it's really a good resource for the public. I think that's it for my slides. I'm gonna skip that one.
All right, very good. So what we'll do next, Princella, did you want to
Yes.
say anything? Because we have maybe about 10 more minutes that you could talk, and then we'll have our co-host.
Okay, wonderful. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Susan, Dr. Susan Buchanan, thank you for that. You know, I'm going to seg into who we are. We are A for Asthma. And Dr. Murray actually had put that slide up that shows our A for Asthma program in Benton Harbor, Michigan, and why this is so essential in our community of
Are
Benton
we
Harbor.
seeing it again, the slide?
Yes, we are. Yes, thank you
Okay,
for that.
good.
So 25%. This is staggering. 25% of Black adults have been diagnosed, not talked about, but diagnosed to have asthma in Berrien County. That is the county where Benton Harbor resides, Coloma, Niles, Buchanan, Barron Springs. It's our area, our county. 25% of Black adults have been diagnosed with asthma. So when you think about that, next time you're at your dining room table, there could be 4 people there. One of those 4 people. When you go any place you want to go, just start looking at 4 people, one of those 4 people, 25%. The national and even with the state of Michigan, I believe is 6%, 6.1% respectively. But in Benton Harbor amongst Blacks, 25%. We found that on our Barron County Health Department website. And that's essential why we started the A for Asthma program. And it's our way of connecting with people with asthma, and equally as important, family members of people with asthma. I've never seen an asthma attack, but 4 years, 5 years ago, when my cousin Keith died on a street driving his car and had an attack, it made me start thinking more and more about asthma. And then comes Dr. Susan Buchanan doing the research, she and her team, to find these statistics that I just talked about. And our last event, well, other events that we've had in the city, we've had about 6 or 7 resource fairs with the state of Michigan and other community partners, because the city of Benton Harbor has been facing a lead and water crisis. And we've had remarkable progress with lead in homes, lead pipes underneath homes, because back in the day, you could have lead in these pipes. So we've done a remarkable job with the state of Michigan and our governor and hoping to help with that issue. Now, when we started thinking about asthma, 25%, I mean, that is a red flag as big as it can get. And I am so pleased that we've had 6 or 7 resource fairs. Dr. Susan Buchanan and her team have been there for the resource fairs. They've been able to provide us, and if you're on this call, with peak flow machines that could help you with literature and information. We talk to people. We're at the farmers market, like I mentioned. Coming up in a couple months, we'll be at Juneteenth. But we had our own individual event called the listening session, Brave Voices of Asthma, where people came, as one young lady said, she's young in spirit, but she's middle-aged. I believe she said she didn't even get asthma until she was in her 30s at her job. She doesn't even recall, it's a factory job. She doesn't even recall if there's literature or testing or anything done as they're making all these different devices for cars and everything. So it was at a very late age for her. And then she had a son. Then we had a woman again who spoke about her asthma, and her mom went to the hospital and the doctors didn't believe she had asthma, even though she had stated it. This is one of so many reasons that A for Asthma is needed in Benton Harbor and across this nation. So we know our statistics. The city of Benton Harbor is 87% African American, Black. So now when you start looking at those numbers, I just say our job is bigger than we thought, but our hearts are bigger than even that, because we are so gung-ho with the team members that we have. with Dr. Susan Buchanan and Debbie and Laura Berman. I mean, it's just a group, Andrews University, Nick Gunn, people coming together, and the people who are asthma ambassadors, they're sharing their stories, and it's making a difference because it's starting with education. We are able to educate people about the triggers, solutions. We have a radio program that we air on Tuesdays in the city of Benton Harbor. To get the name of it already, Nick, you're on it. Wake up, yeah, wake up, Benton Harbor.
Wake up, Benton Harbor.
Yes, because we have to wake people up. And one of the ways of waking them up is to educate them and to empower them with essential tools and information. So that's what we've been able to do with the A for Asthma program. And for all of the listeners, we have just gotten started. You heard the triggers that Dr. Buchanan just went over. Stuffed animals. Can you believe that? Stuffed animals. Who would have known? I have a pet. Pets. Not all pets and not all stuffed animals, but still, it's important to know. Once you know, hopefully you do better. And so it's important that we're able to educate people, inspire them, and support them in their families with asthma. Dr. Murray mentioned and put it on the screen, but our telephone number is 855-269-1519. And we have a Facebook page, A for Asthma. You can go, if you can't reach us, leave a message. We'll get back with you, and we'll make sure you stay connected in our quest and our really profound efforts and dedication to help people with asthma. So pretty much that's what I want to say right now. There's so much more to say. The biggest thing I want to leave you with is that every single day we have people facing asthma. But come next month, May, it is National Asthma Month. So please call us at 855-269-1519, and we'll let you know what's getting ready to happen, how we can inspire and educate and support more people in our area. But we'll be able to do it hopefully by just connecting others if needed. But May is National Asthma Month, and I'm so proud to be on the show. Dr. Murray, thank you so much. Dr. Susan Buchanan, I can't thank you enough. We are changing lives and helping people, and I'm so glad that we have this opportunity.
All right, thank you so very much. So next we are going to hear from Ms. Heidi Lassane. As we were saying earlier, she is the asthma coordinator for EPA Region 4. Our Region 5 asthma coordinator is with us in spirit, but she had a prior engagement. And as you could see here on the screen, Ms. Lassane is got a lot of experience and expertise in this area. One thing to emphasize, especially for the students, if you're taking doing an undergraduate degree in biology, this you could be in the EPA. This could lead to very impactful careers beyond just simply biology. So now I will go to a couple of slides here with, let's see. Okay, here we go. So Heidi, Ms. Lassane.
Good morning, and I don't have much to say. I think it was all said this morning. Oh, what a passionate group of wonderful people doing some great work in Region 5. My coordinator in Region 5 will be very proud to hear of the great work being done. This is what it's all about, telling the story and continuing to tell the story and educating people and working with our communities and empowering them and helping them with what they need, giving them the resources that they need to go out and spread the word. This is a perfect time to do this, as May is Asthma Awareness Month. So educate somebody and tell a friend, spread the word. This is what we're doing in May. And so we're doing the same thing in Region 4, just like you guys are doing in Region 5. Perfect timing. Next week is Air Quality Awareness Week. And Tuesday is World Asthma day. So everybody in the whole world will be spreading the word about asthma. So we take it serious all over the world. So we will have in Region 4, and you guys are more than willing to share with us every day. And the theme for Air Quality Awareness Week, and this all next week, is working together for clean air. And so every day we'll have a speaker, and the themes are like wildfire, of course, World Asthma Day. We're going to talk about air quality in transportation, air quality and climate, and then we're going to end on Friday with participatory science. If you guys want to join in, please click on any link you want. We have everyday webinars. And then I'm going to continue that month every Tuesday. And all these sessions are from 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. So it's kind of like a lunch and learn 1 hour sessions. But every Tuesday, we're going to continue on with the asthma sessions. And I have some of our speakers. We're going to talk about asthma, World Asthma Day. We have talking about asthma in the environment. We have asthma in family, asthma in schools, and we're going to end with one of my partners in Alabama and what she's doing in a rural setting. And that's a really good talk. She's been doing some stuff in one of the rural counties in Alabama, and I had a chance to go out there and work with them in Lowndes County. It's really good story what they're doing out there. So I hope you guys can join if you can on your lunchtime. If not, register anyway if you're interested. If you register, we're going to record the sessions. It'll probably take a week. We're going to do the captions and put it on YouTube so we can share the information if you register. One thing I want to mention, if you are, I encourage you to join Asthma Community Network. That's a resource that everybody that's interested in asthma, we share resources, and all over the nation, all our asthma coalitions, they're putting their information on what they're doing. So we're going to have a calendar of what they're doing throughout the month. If you miss anything, any asthma summits going on throughout the nation, most of them are free. They've been very good, especially during COVID. I've attended many of great asthma summits virtually since we've been in COVID and could not travel. They're still continuing to do a lot of them, virtually. So please, I could put that in the chat.
Sure.
I think
Okay.
I have that link. Yeah. And one more thing, I'll share the what is it called? The Asthma Awareness Toolkit. And I will send that to you in email because it's a link, but on there, they're going to go live on Monday, and all the resources for Asthma Awareness Month. And if you could share it to the group, that'll be great. But anybody have any questions?
So yes, so now we are going to get into our Q&A session here.
Awesome.
Yes, we want to, before we do, we could go ahead and thank all of our speakers, Marlene, Susan, Princella, Heidi, and time is open now for any questions.
Hi, my name is Inez Ayers. I'm just like in awe. This is so awesome. You guys are amazing, and your enthusiasm and your tenacity to let the people know what's going on with education about this very serious condition. I am 66 years old, and I was just diagnosed at age 65. So this is like, say what? Okay, no problem. We'll handle this too. So I spend half of my a year into Trinidad and Tobago. I'm in Tobago, and the other half is in Canada, and I'm a U.S. citizen. So I have a mom and family still in Florida. So I wasn't aware about this until yesterday when our area representative sent something on our WhatsApp community chat that this was happening, and I was like, oh, this is perfect for me. I need to know what's going on with this and learn more about it, because I'd planned to find out if there was an asthma community here or one in Canada when I go there in the summer, to get on what I need to do to better prepare myself and, you know, for what I need to watch out for. So this was excellent. Thank you so much, Princella. Thanks you so much to the person who had to leave, who gave us her story, and Dr. Buchanan and Mr. Murray. So you guys may get emails from me. I will definitely let Natisha, the representative, know that I did attend, and thanks so much for sending this to me. And I will hopefully can be on some of the future ones that you're going to be doing. And applause for all the work that everyone is doing, and Heidi as well. Wow.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
So to keep in touch, you could also join the A for Asthma Facebook. We could give you additional information from there. And of course, I think you have my email now.
Yes, I think it was given to us. Yes, in the text that she sent.
Okay.
I will join it on email. On your Facebook page. I don't do too much on Facebook except look at it and what other people have to say. That's the safest thing for me to do.
All right, that sounds
Thank you.
good.
I will stay in touch.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Very good, very good. Any other questions or even comments, further thoughts, insights from our speakers, anything?
Dr. Murray, the one thing I wanted to state is that our representative from Region 4 was talking about what they're doing, environment in the schools, but she talked about the family and everything. But in the schools, what we have found in Benton Harbor is wow, in the schools. Let's start with schools, period. How children have to take their medication to schools, how they're taking their inhalers to schools. But then I spoke to a football coach. He said, asthma. He says probably half of our players, they have to wheel them off the football field at times. They cannot play as long as they normally probably would play because of their breathing issues and their asthma. So when you start thinking even about that, that's also basketball, that's track, you know, and then we start thinking about band. So many students want to participate in sports or any type of activity, but they're prohibited. They have to hold off, and the parents are a little afraid for them to participate. When we start thinking about that, participating in all these activities, that's essential and important for a child. It's pregnancy prevention, it's crime prevention, it's self-esteem, building up your self-esteem. But asthma has stopped so much of that for so many, not just in Benton Harbor, but probably across our nation. And then we start talking about, so that's one segment, but I gave you the statistics of 25%. That's adults, Black adults. We just heard Marlene talk about the 3-year-old. And now we have the one woman, her 10-year-old. So we're still gathering more up-to-date statistics, and then to see how they're affecting our young people that are not adults, our children. So this whole asthma thing is bigger than we thought. Young lady just told us, and I'm gonna call you young. You just found out a year ago, you know, at the age of that seasoned age that you are.
66. Yes, I'm young. Yes.
Yes, and that's what one of our speakers said. She was 30 or 40 before she found out I have what? Asthma. And so it's just something to think about that from both generations, the younger to the older. But the school, that population alone in the schools, not being able to participate in different activities that play a part in so many other different areas that our young people are not able to participate in.
So okay, very good for that too, insight. I also wanted to find out, because we have a couple of people here from Trinidad, Janice, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Patricia. Do you have a sense of is there a problem with asthma in Trinidad? Because one of the things that we face in the Caribbean is the Sahara dust. Are you guys aware of this problem being significant in Trinidad or even the wider Caribbean?
Hi. Well, as I know, there were a few people in my class, maybe at primary school level, who had asthma from a young age, but it's definitely not something, at least that I've observed a lot in Trinidad, in terms of, I guess, say the per capita first infection or case of asthma is in your county, Princella. But one thing that I have observed, especially in Barbados, is that people have a lot of sinusitis or sinus issues. I myself have sinus problems. So you tend to see people walking around with like the Vicks inhalers up their nose and being really affected by the Sahara dust. And we actually see some days the sky is orange because of Sahara dust. But I'm not too sure, and I really have not looked into how that affects people who have asthma particularly. But sinusitis, yes.
Okay. I see a hand up for Natalie.
Yes,
Natalie?
hi, good day. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. The allergy asthma Facebook page. Based on my information over the few years, because I was diagnosed in 2010, right? As well as having multiple allergies, right? And based on the information that I've gathered since then, I realized, and even over the pandemic, there has been a bit of an increase in terms of asthma issues, sinus issues, all these different issues in terms of asthma. You know,
Okay.
there has been an increase. The only, I think, one of the biggest issues right now we have is the treatment and management of it in terms of and educating people about it.
Okay. Okay. So you are part of a group in Trinidad that
Well, actually, I actually started
you started the group.
The group. Yeah, I started a group on Facebook in 2013.
Okay.
After realizing, after being diagnosed myself and realizing that it was difficult to get information or to, even find out how people cope and, exist with these things.
So hopefully
Because
a lot of what you heard today will start to give you resources and a network beyond Trinidad.
yes. Well, I've been reaching out to many different organizations because I think the need for that information being out there and sharing with people so that they understand. I mean, yes, you may hear a doctor might tell you this or tell you that, but when you hear people's stories, sometimes you can connect, you can understand, okay, this is what is going on. Because for me, it happened. I got my diagnosis and I was 35.
Okay.
And it was like, it was the diagnosis of asthma because I have allergic asthma. And then my allergies, the ton load of allergies added to it, which means, of course, when I have reactions, it could trigger asthmatic. I was like, okay, how, dealing with all of this, where do I get information? And then we're kind of limited in terms of allergy treatments in Trinidad. So, I started looking at it. I was like, okay, I think this is something that people should know. A lot of people tell themselves,
Yes. So does the Ministry of Health give out information on asthma, allergies, on how to deal with the Sahara dust and other stuff like that?
Not that much information, honestly.
Okay.
We don't really get that much information. You just get basic guidelines, but most people don't really know, okay, how do I deal with this? How do I cope with this? How do I manage on a day-to-day basis, in terms of these things?
Okay. So thanks for giving us that. Anybody else has comments or questions as we nearing the end of this session.
Natalie, I just wanted to say that is really interesting. You'll notice that increase in people with sinus issues or asthma. Because I was one of those people that I was fine. And in 2020, as soon as we were in lockdown, I was in Barbados at the time. Out of nowhere, I started getting bad sinus problems. Now I know my dad has
Wow.
sinus problems, and I think my older sister, but I was doing fine. And then all of a sudden, being inside a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I just started getting a lot of problems. So I do wonder, and I mean, maybe this is answered, but is it possible for people to develop something like asthma later on in life, or is it just that you had it all along and were only diagnosed later on in life?
Hmm. Our doctor just left, I think. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't really fully answer that question. If it's something that could be hidden and then, manifests itself later on in life. We know it manifests itself at all ages from what
Mhm.
the stories we are hearing online here. But yeah, I am not sure how to answer that question. But we'll talk to our doctor and ask her that, and we'll try to get that information to you.
Sure, thanks.
All right. So I think we are coming to the end now of this. Thanks again to Miss Marlene West, to Princella Tobias, to Dr. Susan Buchanan, to Miss Heidi Lassane, and thanks to all of you who attended here today, first timers as well as regulars. And we will be taking the summer off. But if you have suggestions, we definitely are going to come back to asthma again, next upcoming seasons. But if you have suggestions of other topics and or speakers, Heidi will be back. Pretty sure of that. Please contact us, and we will make arrangements to have that topic and or speaker be part of Environmental Fridays. So thanks again, and have a wonderful day and weekend and summer.
Thank you,
Take
Dr. Murray.
care. All
Same
right.
to you.
Take care.